Hello, madam. Hello, sir. This is Darnav Manish. Hall ticket number 21955 A0302. Third year, fifth semester, Mechanical Engineering, IIR College. Now I am going to present my concept video topic on Benson boilers. What is Benson boiler? What is Benson boiler? A Benson boilers are a high pressure drumless boiler, water tube kind of boiler, that makes usual forces circulation. This kind of boiler has unique characteristics of the absence of separating steam drum. The other characteristics of the boilers are that critical pressure, the steam and water coexist at same density, and heat is zero. Benson boiler. First of all, some operators are using here. What is a circulation? Circulations are two types. First one, forced circulation, natural circulation. Forced circulation, the water circulation inside the tube or outside the tube done by forcefully is known as forced circulation. The Benson boiler is a forced circulation. And natural circulation means the circulation flows, or the water flows in the tubes with gravity. Gravity plays where the gravity plays. So it is a natural circulation. And also high pressure boilers are there, low pressure boilers are there, medium pressure boilers are there. And also it is a drumless boiler, and it is a water tube boiler. So we all know what is a water tube boiler. And also tube boilers, water tube boiler and fire tube. Boiler tubes are two types. First one is water tube and fire tube. The water flow within the or in the tubes is known as water tube boiler, and the gases surrounded around the water tube, that is water tube boiler. Whereas coming to the fire tube boiler, inside the tube the fire will flows, and the around the fire tube there water is surrounded. That is, these three are important parameters: pressure and water and forced circulation. And also in this Bunsen boiler, and it has absence of steam separating drum. It is an important unique characteristic, absence of steam separating drum. So in here this drum is, for Bunsen boiler there is no drum, no. Hence it is a drumless boiler, no. That is the reason it is the absence of separating of steam. The other characteristics of the boiler are, and also it is a critical pressure. It operates at a critical pressure, and the water and the steam and water exist at a same density, and also heat is zero in this boiler. I repeat, in Bunsen boiler, water and steam exist at a same density, and heat is zero. Mark Benson was the scientist who invented the Benson boiler in 1992. In this boiler, water is compressed supercritical pressure, and no bubbles is formed on the water. When water enters the boiler, it suddenly converts into the steam because boiler adjusts the above critical pressure. The critical pressure is at which liquid and gas phases are equilibrium. So supercritical pressure, the bubbles are do not form because the density of water and steam become the same as because of the density of water and steam becomes the same. As the water is compressed to supercritical pressure, the latent heat of water will be reduced. Coming to Benson boiler, Benson boiler was invented by the scientist. The name of the scientist is Mark Benson. So the scientist name uh, the Mark Benson named the Benson boiler from his name. So the Benson is from his name. So and also the boiler was invented in 1992. Sorry, 1922. And also it is a supercritical pressure. And also in first slide we discussed that it is operated at a supercritical pressure. So that is the reason there is no bubble formed on the water surface. And also when the water enters into the boiler, automatically or suddenly the water converts into the steam because it is a critical pressure. It operates at a critical on earlier and first time we discussed that it is a operate at a critical pressure. When the water enters suddenly the steam formed because of it is operated at a critical pressure, and also liquid and gas phase are at equilibrium, and the steam become the the latent heat of the heat of the water reduces zero. As the latent heat of water reduces zero, the water directly changes into the steam. In this type of boiler, the air separator drum is not required to separate the air bubble from water from. This try telling us latent heat of water reduces zero, the water directly changes into the steam without the formation of bubbles. Bunsen boiler diagram. It is a chimney. Chimney helps. What is the function of chimney? Chimney helps to send the gases to the atmosphere. And air preheater. The air will be heated, and the economizer, conventional evaporator, a conventional superheater, radiant superheater, furnace. Furnace. What is the function of furnace? The function of furnace is to burn the fuel, and the superheater. The the function of each part in the Benson boiler. Furnace. Just now in this previous, it is a furnace area. This is the furnace area. What will happen in the furnace? In the furnace the fuel will be fired and the combustion process will take place. The heat will come out. The space generate and the boiler shell in this fuel is burnt. The furnace is called firebox. Feed pump. What is the function of feed pump? Feed pump is to send the feed water at the high pressure. And in first slide we discussed Benson boiler is a high pressure boiler. So that is the reason the feed pump is required because we need to pump the water by forced circulation. That's the reason feed pump is required. Air preheater. Air preheater is a necessary asset that develops the heat in the exhaust gases by heating the air supplied to the furnace boiler. Preheated air improves the thermal efficiency of the fuel. Air preheater. This one. After the air and from the furnace will enters in this direction to the air preheater. This is a air preheater. So here the heat will develop at the exhaust of the gas, and that gas will send this gas will send to the air preheater and supplied to the furnace boiler. improve this air preheater improves the thermal efficiency. Economizer. An economizer burning the feed water to certain temperature, it makes the recovery of heat in the exhaust gases. Economizer improves the overall efficiency of the boiler by reducing fuel consumption. Improves the overall efficiency of the boiler by reducing fuel consumption. It is an economizer. What the function of economizer is, uh, here the feed water, here the feed water, this is the economizer. In this economizer, the feed water which is sent by the pump is heated up to certain temperature, and also reduce the fuel consumption. Indirectly, the economizer reduce the consumption of fuel by heating the feed water. Superheater. It is a superheater, heats water from radiation generated by the burnt fuel. Su- Superheater. It is a superheater. It is a superheater. It is a superheater. So when here the water is converted, here the water is heated up to the certain temperature. That is critical temperature or critical pressure. That is the function of superheater. Evaporator. It develops superheated water and forms them into the steam. It does this by conventional method of heat transfer from exhaust. It is an it is an heater. What does the evaporator do? It sucks the um, sorry. It converts the water into the steam by evaporation process. Working principle of Benson boiler. The Benson boiler is a water tube boiler which accomplishes job the principle of critical pressure of water. As I mentioned before, the critical pressure of is the pressure the water goes stays in the equilibrium. The feed water passes to the economizer of the furnace. The water receives the heat by radiation, temperature increase nearly critical pressure. Then it moves the economizer, economizer to evaporator, and the achieve the desired. So here it is an economizer. From economizer, the heat from the economizer, the water moves to the moves to the evaporator. So at this point, the water is converted into the steam because it reaches the critical pressure. Economizer to okay. This by this diagram we can able to know what is going on the Benson boiler. The first water comes from the feed pump to the economizer to the radiant evaporator. Radiant evaporator in the sense um, the radiant evaporator to the connective evaporator, then evaporator to superheater superheater to the steam turbine. How does Benson boiler work? Step one. In Benson boiler, there is no steam and the water drop. It will be directly converted into water into the steam. The so uh, this point telling us because of this no steam and no water, uh, that is the reason no steam. Sorry, there is no steam and water. That is the reason here there is no required of drum. So that is known as the Benson boiler is a drumless boiler. The blower will start the working and the blow air into the air preheater. Then air preheater heats the air and hot gases will come out. The hot air will be used in the furnace for the further process. The feed pump increase the pressure of the water to the supercritical pressure. Then the water enters into the economizer. Air preheater to furnace to economizer. The water is preheated combustion gases increase the efficiency of the boiler. In this, water passes into the radiant superheater. In the superheater, the water is heated using the radiant heat transfer. Here, heat is transferred from combustion chamber to the water. Will be partially converted into the steam and partially remains liquid form. Then the partial vapor and liquid go to the convent superheater. In the last step where there is no connective superheater, the water will be fully converted into vapor or steam and the heated steam will be go to the prime mover and the rotate the turbine blades. So here we can discuss so the diagrams, it is a working of a Benson boiler. Here, hot water from well, the feed water to the economizer. The economizer will, what will do the economizer? The economizer will increase the temperature. So after increasing the temperature, the water partially converted into, so it will send to the radiant evaporator. Here the heat will happen. Then it is go to the connective evaporator. Here the partially converted. Then it will send in the superheater. After superheater, again it is heated to high temperature. So it totally the steam is formed. That steam is sent to the turbine turbine blades. Advantage of the Benson boiler. It is a drumless boiler, so the weight of the drum is less than compared with other boilers. It operates smaller floor. Its erection, because of the use of smaller diameter tubes, the explosion hard most negligible. It can be started within 15 minutes. It avoids bubble formation due to supercritical pressure of water. Transportation is easy. The boiler is maybe achieved up to 9. Advantages is drumless boiler. It is a drumless boiler. So because of by removing the drum, we can reduce the nearly 20 to 30% of the Benson boiler compared with the other type of boilers. And it is a because of it is small in size, we can reduce the small installation area, and also because of it is a small tubes. No, that is the reason we can almost neglect the or negligible the explosion of hazards, and also it is easy to start, and because of there is no bubble formation because it operates at a supercritical pressure of water, and also transportation is very easy because it is a very small, no, and also it is an high efficient boiler because it is achieved nearly 90,000 percentage 90% efficiency. It is a most highest efficiency. And the disadvantages of the Benson boiler, there is a possibility that tubes are overheated if the water flow is not enough. The formation of heavy deposit takes place on heated surfaces if impure water is used. There may be encountered some difficulties controlling the boiler for variable loads. The disadvantage of the Benson boiler is because of if there is no flow, enough flow in water flow in the water tubes, then it is the tubes may be going to be overheated. That is reason the tubes may be chance to get damaged. The formation of heavy drop deposits takes place on the heated surface if immature water is used. The point telling that heavy deposits takes place because of encoder same controlling the boiler variables loads. The Benson boiler used for different industries to generate steam for production of electricity, mechanical power. The average operating pressure, temperature, and capacity of the Benson boiler is 650 degree Celsius and the 250 bar, and it generates 135 tons per hour. The Benson boiler used in different industries, and also it uses for generation of steam, and also it uses for the production of electricity, and also mechanical power, and also it is a operating pressure is high and the temperature is also it is an average temperature and pressure operating, and the capacity of the Benson boiler is 650 degrees Celsius and the 250 bars, and it produces nearly 135 tons of tons per hour. Let's recap what we learned in this video. What is Benson boiler, and about the Benson boiler and who invented and discussed it in detail, and image of the Benson boiler, the role of each part in the Benson boiler, the working principle of the Benson boiler, and the working diagram of a Benson boiler, and how does a Benson boiler works. We discussed in the step by step the advantage of the Benson boiler, and the disadvantage of the Benson boiler and the Benson boiler used for. Thank you.